Faces of Abortion is the only television program of its kind that shares the powerful, real-life stories of women, men, and families who have suffered through the destruction of abortion. You will be hearing powerful stories from women and men and families throughout the nations. Faces of Abortion touches lives and changes hearts in over 115 nations. You will also be given practical steps on how you can end abortion.
So it just overwhelmed me. And I thought the only way to escape the pain was to take my life.
I had a fear that I wouldn't be able to have my own children.
It brings heartache. It brings hurt.
And I knew they were tearing my baby apart.
I remember the cold feeling of the room.
I remember laying there and I just said to myself that I will never forgive myself for what I'm doing.
I believe that my life was spared that night just so that I could be here right now and say abortion hurts women.
Welcome to Faces of Abortion. I'm your host, Cindy Collins, and I'd like to introduce my co-host, Alan Parker, who is president of the Justice Foundation, and Clayton Trotter, who is the general counsel of the Justice Foundation. And today we're going to be also hearing from one of our special guests, Lisa.
We're very fortunate to be hearing this week from Cheryl and Lisa, and I think it's going to be an incredible exposure of abortion for those who think they know something about it but have never experienced it themselves. And I think it's going to be a very powerful program this week.
Thank you, Alan. And now we're going to hear from Cheryl in her own words.
Hi, my name is Cheryl, and I was trying to think about what I could say that you haven't already heard as far as my experience with abortion. And I, like most of the others, you know, I've been through it. I was 19. I had a boyfriend who told me all the right words to say, and I believed all the lies that he told me. And I believed all the lies that the clinic told me. And I was thinking, you know, they tell you all those things that you need to hear. And if I had heard someone say, well, you know, why don't they tell you about all the pain and suffering you're going to go through? I thought, well, if they tell you all that, then you're going to get out of there and run as fast as you can. And so I believe that that is their job, to convince you that, number one, it's a blob of tissue, you're not actually aborting a child. You know, you've heard all those lies, and I am standing here, you know, as proof that I believed all those lies. I remember all the details very clearly of my abortion. I remember what the clinic looked like. I remember going in there, the noise, everything about it. But I was trying to think what I could say that would really have an impact, not just the fact that I'm here and I've had an abortion, but the fact that I heard a testimony from a nurse who worked in an abortion clinic. And I'd seen a lot of visual aids and I'd heard a lot of stories, but until I heard her testimony, I almost believe I was still kind of numb, and it didn't really sink in until I heard what she had told me. And what she had shared was that she was a nurse that worked for a doctor in Clinton, Iowa, that had done abortions. And she had worked there for a number of years, not given it much thought, but when she shared, she was standing behind this wood podium, and she had placed this cold silver shiny metal jug on this wood podium, and I can still hear the clang it made. And when she had shared how that jug was used in the testimonies, it broke my heart, because what she had shared was after they have performed the procedure and they extract the fetus, it goes into this cold metal jug, and they simply just walked it down the hallway to the bathroom and they just flushed the remains down the toilet. And that was hard for me, because I am a mother of 3 children besides my daughter who I aborted. And just to hear that, to know that that was her burial, it hurt. And I said I'd seen a lot of visual aids before that, but that one touched me the most. And so I thought, what could I say? You know, and I've always said, if the pain that I've gone through, if telling one person, if I can help stop one person from doing and making the same choices they say that abortion is the right choice. It's not the right choice. You know, it does hurt women, and I believe the lies that they said when you make that choice, that your problem's going to be fixed and you can go back to life as normal. And you know, they don't tell you the truth, and they will not tell you the truth because, like I said, you'd run 100 miles an hour in the other direction. So it does hurt women. It does hurt children. You know, there's a line of descendants down that line that will never be there because of that one simple choice that they say is so easy to make. And I've always said, if that choice was so simple and it was such the right choice, then why did I cry so much? I remember going home from the clinic holding my stomach and just crying uncontrollably. And I always believed that that was the one unforgivable sin, that God would not forgive me for that one. And I believed that for the longest time, until I recently attended, a few years ago, I attended a Bible study also, the Forgiven and Set Free Bible study. And that was a life-changing thing for me because, again, I had learned that, yes, God would forgive me for that one horrible thing that I thought that I did. And so I did receive forgiveness through Christ, and I have accepted him as my Lord and Savior. And if it weren't for that, I wouldn't even be sitting here talking. You know, I would still be full of the guilt and the shame and hiding, and I wouldn't want to tell anybody what I've done. But I'm here because of that, and because of that I can share. And like I said, if what I've gone through is any comfort to anyone, I would simply say that it's not the right choice. You will pay for it the rest of your life, and it is ending the life of a child, not just a blob of tissue. So I would just say that seek out all the details and get all the information before you even make that choice, and that you would make the right choice to choose life.
You've just heard a powerful testimony from Cheryl and her story of abortion and how she felt as though that abortion was unforgivable, the unforgivable sin. If that's you, if you're watching Faces of Abortion right now and you're feeling that there's no hope, no forgiveness in your life, we want to encourage you to call our toll-free 24-hour helpline right now. Speak to one of the counselors, one of the people, one of the women who is on the other end, who has had an abortion, who may have felt just like you do right now. You know, Alan, I was listening to Cheryl's testimony, and I feel that's so common amongst women, that they feel that there's a lack of forgiveness, that it's unforgivable, yet we've seen over and over again how women have found that forgiveness through the Lord.
Yes, and as I was listening, that's one of the many things about abortion that you're not told when you go into the abortion clinic. In fact, one of the myths about abortion, one of the reasons we have it, is it's supposed to be a choice between a woman and her doctor, assuming you'll get good counseling and you'll make this informed decision, you'll know all the consequences, and then you'll make a rational, informed choice. And that's just a lie, as women have showed us over and over and over again on this program. And there's an inherent conflict of interest. The abortionist only makes money if you buy the surgery. This is elective surgery. It's not like if you have cancer and the doctor tells you what you need, you're pretty much going to get it. You may want to know the risks, but you're not going to say, I don't want to go through it. This is elective surgery, so they only make a sale if they convince you. And as she said, they're not going to tell you the dangerous things, the things that could go wrong, all the bad things that have happened to women. They're going to act like it's a simple thing, it'll be over in a minute.
Well, and you know, Alan, one of the things we talk about in law school is interest analysis. You know, what is the interest of the abortionist? Well, the interest of the abortionist is selling abortions. What is the interest in